Hey everybody, this is Kenny Cummings here, and welcome to a fun interview of Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C. I am Kenny Cummings. Thank you all for listening, and I'm joined with an incredible guest. She is
Oh,
a singer-songwriter from Cincinnati, which is one of my former stomping grounds. She has a album out, and this is quite an interesting title name, Sickle Health. Yes,
yeah.
and I'm joined with Miss Rachel Maxann. Thank you.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going really good. How about you?
Good, good. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview. You are in the 504. You're in New Orleans as we are
I
doing this.
am.
So we'll get into this album and this album title per se uh, in a matter of moments. But I've heard of you through a friend who's from the state
Oh.
of Kentucky. Her name is Rachel Crow. Um,
Oh, Rachel. I love Rachel.
you performed in Lexington in the holidays, and that was on the same weekend that I was out of town with my family, so I was
Oh.
unable to see you in person. But I said, Rachel, I'm gonna have to listen to you, and and I'm glad I did. So hopefully you will come back to Kentucky in the future. But this is the best I can do for now. It's this
Well, I
interview.
absolutely plan on coming back.
So shout out to Rachel. Much love to her. I love her. She's
Yes.
she's awesome and very talented. She got the blues. She got the soul. You
Oh,
know.
decent Rachel. I love it.
How did you get started into being a musician, an artist?
Well, I would definitely have to attribute a lot of that to my family, especially my mother. Growing up in church, she was always having us sing along with her, get up and perform in front of people. So it just kind of felt like second nature. And by the time I started really getting into it, around like high school and then more so in college, I kind of had it already ingrained in me. So yeah, that would probably be the most specific origin, and then just a lot of different influences from friends and family and traveling and having something to write about.
So, who were some of the musical influences you had growing up?
Oh my gosh, probably. I mean, everyone from like Aretha Franklin to Janis Joplin to Lauryn Hill, to just people that I met. I went on a cruise ship like when I was like 12 or 13 or something like that. And I thought that would be a great job, just singing for a living and traveling. So, a lot of different influences. I love all different types of genres of music. So I can gain influence from just about anywhere.
So, in the music industry, people like to put artists in a box, trying
Yeah.
to get a feel as to what genre they are. If you can describe the type of music that you do, how would you best describe it? Are you just one genre, or are you more than that?
Well, it's funny you say that. I actually made up my own genre, and I call it vintage indie rock because I am definitely a singer songwriter, but I love music that is old, just like oldies and Motown and like doo-wops, things like that. But I also, I'm a '90s child, so that a very heavy indie rock influence and grunge and stuff like that. So I think what it kind of mixes into for me, it turns into what I could only describe as like vintage indie rock.
Vintage indie rock. Okay, I've never heard that genre before.
I made it
So
up. You
so
heard it here first.
that's all yours. So anyone that listens and even trying to think of using that as a genre, no, that belongs to Rachel. That's all hers. Okay, she may not trademark it, and I get it. People want trademarks or whatever, but I don't care. That that's her. Get your own get your own self genre. Um, or stick to the usual per se. Um, so I want to talk about this album you put out.
Yeah.
Fickle Hellcat is the
Yeah.
name of the record. And before we get into, the whole process of you recording this record, what made you name this record Fickle Hellcat?
That is a good question. So a mix of a couple things actually. So I had an ex who would, while we were dating, and it was like a playful thing, would call me a Sickle Hellcat because I don't know, it was like an old timey word he had heard like in a book or something like that a long time ago. And he would call me that because it's like the definition is something like, has lots of emotion, kind of like, very, I don't know, I guess adventurous, very like prone to follow emotion, stuff like that. But I was like, it wasn't so much an insult, like a fair description sometimes. And so I had a band, do have a band in Cincinnati that I had named Sickle Health, kind of like homaging to that. And then later on, when I was thinking about, when I was putting up my solo album, it just seemed right to kind of put those things together and just make it the Sickle Health album, because the album, it goes from, anger to sadness to happiness to all the kind of things that I feel from day to day. So it kind of seems like a fitting name.
So that is quite the name, and that is quite the story behind it. So you definitely got my attention for in that regard. So Fickle Hellcat, what was the whole process like recording this record? Just the songwriting, the recording, everything about it.
Oh man. So this particular album, like, it comes from some songs I had written before, some songs like years before, and then there were some songs that I had written only probably a few months before, which is, I think, also like brings on the erraticness of the album, because I was definitely feeling different things when I was writing certain songs. But so when I write every song, I tend to do the lyrics and the music at the same time. I know a lot of people do it separately, but when I feel it hard, and I feel it at the same time. So as I'm writing it, I'll think of the words, and then it's kind of a very therapeutic process for me, because I feel like once I've written a song about something, that's the final, like, me letting it go. So yeah, that was the process of it. And then I had an absolutely amazing producer. So I was like, the guy who recorded it, Bill, he was really encouraging and had lots of great ideas. And it really helped me, kind of figure out the order and the process of it. So it turned out to be, like a really therapeutic, beautiful thing that I'm really excited. It was my first, full-length album.
So the name of the record is Fickle Hellcat, and it is available on cdbaby.com. Is it also available on digital music platforms as well?
Oh yeah, everywhere. So like Spotify, you can find it on Bandcamp, SoundCloud. You can go to my website, rachelmaxann.com. There's like probably most you can think of. You can probably find me there.
So you had a busy December. You went on tour, the Snowbird Tour. You performed in Louisville, Nashville, Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, New Orleans, Montgomery, Alabama, Atlanta, Knoxville, And what a coincidence! Your last day of that tour was in my neck of the woods in Lexington,
I
and
know, right?
so and you performed alongside with another Rachel, as in Rachel Crow.
Yes.
Um, what was that tour like? Getting a chance to go to the cities and get the feel for people and just going out there singing your heart out and just enjoying yourself. What was the tour like for you?
Uh, I loved it, and I love the South. That's why I called Snowbird Tour, because it was getting cold in Cincinnati, as you can imagine. So I couldn't wait to go south. And but people in the South, they just have like this warmness to them, and everyone that I met was just gracious and talented. And I love traveling. I think that's something like my ultimate dream, my job is to travel and play music. So especially in the South, like people are very into music. They have a different way of listening to it. They have a different way of appreciating it. That's not really found in a lot of places. So I absolutely loved going south. It was a really fun venture. I feel like I left it with like lifelong friends and experiences that I'll never forget. So I'm actually already looking into going back again because I already missed them and can't wait to see everybody and play and travel again.
That's pretty awesome. So Rachel, what do you have in store for 2020? More touring, perhaps, or
Oh, yes, definitely more touring. I am, well, it's funny. So I'm currently at the New Orleans airport. I am going to do a cruise ship for a few months, which I'm pretty excited about. And then after that, I'll be doing a small tour through Europe. And I'll be doing that for the month of April. And then when I get back, I've got some shows lined up in Cincinnati. And then hopefully by the end of the month, I should be taking off on my next Southern tour. I haven't thought of the name of it yet. So I'll be doing that.
well, how about you call it the Sickle Hellcat Tour? That.
You know, I was thinking about it, but then by then, I'm hoping to have recorded a couple more singles.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying. Yeah, in fact, I really want to head back to Memphis to record, as well as Nashville. Like those are two places that I was like, I could definitely see myself recording there. Just like the feel of the place and musicians I got to meet. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know the name of it yet, but I sure inspiration will hit.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, I try people. I mean, I Fickle Hellcat. I've heard a lot of interesting album titles or song titles. That may have topped the cake right there.
Yay!
I mean, it don't get any more intriguing than a Fickle Hellcat. So, be careful, people, if you run into some fickle Hellcats around there. You never know. You might even have any. You might have some fickle Hellcats in your family or your friends or your co-workers. You don't even know it. Just
They're out there.
they out there, and this album can be some way, shape, or form inspiration behind it. I'm just saying.
Possibly so. Might have started a movement here.
So you can check out Rachel and more info on her at rachelmaxann.com. That is MAX as in Malcolm X ANN.com. So Rachel, it was great chatting with you, and this was quite a fun interview. So I really enjoyed chatting with you, and thank you for your time, considering your busy evening at the airport, getting ready to enjoy all things that is New Orleans. I don't know if you're gonna that there's a Saints game tomorrow. I don't know if you're into football or not, but if you are, that's a football game. I'm a Saints fan. I'm just saying.
I am too, actually, but I'll already be on the ship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
Go
right.
figure.
Yeah. So, but great chatting with you, Rachel. Thank you for your time and continued success. And hopefully, the next time you do get into the state of Kentucky, I will actually get to see you.
I would be looking forward to that.
And thank you again. And this will conclude our interview. You can check out Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on TMV Cafe. And go get her album, Sickle Health. You can get the CD on cdbaby.com, or you can get it through your digital music platforms, Spotify,
yes,
Apple Music, Google Play. It's there. Just not
everywhere.
Don't just listen just because of the album title. Just listen to it and get the feel for it, get the vibe for it. Just get the soul, moods, good moods. I'm Kenny, that's Rachel, and this is the end of our interview. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.